Look at that. Oh no. Oh, welcome everyone to the Okie Woodsman channel. I'm Joe, and I am trying to get some more cutting in before I have to go to a unexpected shift today. If you are not in the region or you haven't seen, the area has been torn up by storms, tornadoes, and all the rest here in Oklahoma. It's been a particularly bad year, I'd say. The last videos I shot, I was at the Rusty Garage in Homestead with Mike. What a great guy. Truly, what a great guy. He's a great neighbor to have. He's a great friend to have as well. He gave me something super cool. I'd been wanting one of these things, and I just hadn't gotten one yet. This is going to come in super handy. This is the ratchet scrunch, and it works really good when you got your full wraps. I'm definitely looking forward to utilizing it more in the future. This is not a review on this, but I just want to say thank you to Mike at the Rusty Garage in Homestead. Just super excited to have something like this. I also want to talk while I'm filing just a little bit. I want to talk about these bars that Indiana Doug did. Good grief, I love them. I do. Go ahead and get to filing. This is a steel file. It's starting to feel a little bit not as grabby as I would like. You might be wondering why I'm not using the Easy Do. I do still use the Easy Do's, but I just wanted to take some time and talk to the camera here, make sure I'm filing all right, take my time also on these chains. I like how this saw is running. In fact, before we run this, I do need to check the muffler here. There's a slight problem. I want to talk about these bars from Indiana Doug. If you have a reason, a lot of us are chainsaw nerds around here, or business owners. If you have a need or a desire to make your bars look super nice and custom, Indiana Doug is a great option to go. He puts a lot of effort into what he does. He's a perfectionist when it comes down to the things that he's doing. So far, I'm extremely happy with the finish on those bars. Looks really good. These are the Duke's chains. I don't know if there's a better value out there for the quality and the price. If you're looking for a chain that absolutely shreds out of the box, like the fastest one out of the box, it's not what it is, but it is certainly serviceable, and there's nothing wrong with that. I also like they file pretty well. They're not overly hard. They may not last as long in the wood in terms of sharpness, but my opinion is dullness comes mostly from grit, not the wood. Obviously the wood does dull it as well. I'd rather it be easier to touch up than it would be to have to replace your file constantly because the chain is so hard. I have a lot of plans this week. I have my work schedule is such where I get quite a bit of time off. However, with the storms, it's kind of changing things. All the linemen and utility employees have been working like crazy. I'm going to go ahead and help out today. Still have hundreds of people out of power. I'm amazed at the comments that I get on Facebook in particular while using the Easy Do, because they see a lot of metal flying. They assume that I'm just needlessly grinding, because there's a lot of people that just say you just need 3 or 4 swipes. Well, you can see here I'm filing a lot more than 3 or 4 swipes, and this chain wasn't even all that bad, but I want to get this edge really nice. But I think a lot of people don't understand what a sharp chain is. They just assume that all you have to do is touch up the edge and roll on. This chain had been sharpened once real lightly with the Easy Do to get rid of the factory beak, because I had already dulled that slightly. And then I've cut a little bit of wood with this since then. So that's why I'm giving it a touch up here. Starting to feel the pressure. I've got limited time today, and I really need to get out there cutting. I need to get this done because I really need to get out there. I need to get the rest of my wood cut, split, because like I said, I'm running short on time. Kind of wishing I would have just used the Easy Do, to be honest with you. Let's see this bad right here. I can tell my file's not filing as well as it was, but I don't know, maybe I'm too cheap. I don't like throwing it away if it's still filing. Tell me what you guys do. If it starts, like right now it's filing just fine. This file's still cutting great, actually. If you're wondering if I'm liking these Hikes boots, the answer is yes. They're warm. They're not as warm as the rest of my body, though, in terms of when I'm wearing chaps and everything. I find that they're very comfortable. My feet do not hurt in them. I can wear them for long extended hours. And I don't mind wearing them for long extended hours. I'm not just wearing them because they are chainsaw protective. Somebody had mentioned that they refile once they set the rakers because the gauge will roll the edge. And I've actually found that to be the case, actually, on the kind that lean in at an angle like this. You're putting pressure on the edge of that tooth there, or you inevitably do. I'm trying this one out. It's been a while since I've used this style. We'll see. I'm also not as wild about the West Coast one as I am the Husqvarna one. I find that the West Coast saws one is too thin. It's kind of hard to hold on to. There's not enough meat there. And I also find that for me, I don't want that many options on my raker gauge. I don't like taking my handles off every time, so what I do is I just go ahead and wrap it up like this. I don't worry about folding this flap over. I'm finding that when I mix a gallon of fuel, it doesn't last but a couple days now. It's not hard to mix it, of course, but this steel filter does get dirty much quicker. I've cut just a little bit on this saw, and oh, let's check that air cleaner. I was mentioning something. So I have a little bit of a concern here. I was cutting with this and the paint flaked off the outside of it. Can you see that? I'm going to go ahead and pull the cover off. The reason why I'm going to pull the cover off is I'm concerned that if the paint's chipping on the inside, that would be bad. I want to just check the condition of the muffler on the inside of the cover. I gotta say, this steel design is a win. See that? The paint chipped off of it. I just want to make sure it's not chipping on the inside of the muffler. Look at that. Oh no. Oh. Ooh. That's not good. Lesson learned. I don't know if it's a good idea to run this aftermarket muffler here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take an opportunity to see if this saw has been how it's doing on this intake side here. I'm gonna pull this muffler off. That makes me nervous because all this paint chips, you know, I mean, we don't want that. I was gonna run this saw. This is a little detour here. Fantastic when you're short on time. I wanted to see what was going on in the cylinder anyway. So, perfect opportunity. Let's make sure the piston's not cooking itself. I'll pull that muffler off of there. Alright, let's see. I have not looked at this piston yet, so this is going to be a first for both of us. Alright here. So, let's take a look. Let's get in here on one. Now what I'm afraid of is that paint getting in there and getting sucked into there. I'm not seeing any obvious trouble. Good. Okay. I feel good about that. So again, I'm a little bit too nervous. I'm not going to put that muffler back on. Guys, let's just put it this way. Let's just say that you're into chainsaws to make the money. And let's say you're making money with your saw. This is not good. I have in no way saved any money if I were from a production standpoint, because I'm just simply, I'm not working. And then I have a concern about it damaging my expensive saw, right? That's not a win. I don't have any problem with the muffler. The finish on the paint is just terrible. The paint needs to come off. And it's not so much for the appearance sake, it's the inside. You can tell this whole, that part right there had all the paint get blasted off of it. That engine, I believe, could suck it back up. I mentioned something about this on Facebook. Iowa Performance Saws kind of talked with me about it. I'm really curious about this. That's not good. Look at that. It's peeling right off on the inside of the can. I've seen failures on saws because of like powder coating coming off on the inside of the case. Can a saw fail because of the paint on the inside the muffler getting sucked back in? Now, anyway, stock muffler is going back on. So I'm going to go with the stock one, put it back on. It's going to be more restrictive. It's got the small little hole here. It doesn't have this front plate. I suppose I could probably, let me see here. I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put the stock one back on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to even risk it. This is why I'm going back to a stock muffler. I'm going back to a stock muffler. I can't risk this. Now, if I could sandblast this out, but guys, at that point the savings been lost, in my opinion. You know, now listen, my time is not worth more. I'm short on time. But this is why right here. That's not good. That's not good at all.